Hi, I'm Dave Davidson from Revocation, and you're watching Over Music. So the band was born in 2006. Early on we were really influenced by a lot of thrash and death metal bands and also some progressive technical death metal bands as well. So bands like Cannibal Corpse, Morbid Angel, classic bands from that death metal genre really influenced us, as well as thrash bands like Forbidden, Slayer of course, Megadeth. And then I was also, like I said, really into a lot of progressive technical death metal bands like Martyr and Spawn of Possession. So the process for recording Nether Heaven was different this time around. I took on a lot of the producer duties. During the pandemic I learned how to record myself, so I spent a lot of time working in Logic and just kind of honing my skills there. So we recorded the drums with Shane Frisbee at the Brick Hit House, which we've done before, but as far as the tracking of the guitars, all of my vocals, and the engineering of Brett's bass parts, that was all done by me at Heatwave Studios. So Nether Heaven to me was the perfect title for a hellish themed record, and I think the cover art that Paolo Girardi did really matches that infernal theme that we wanted. There's a creepy cathedral, there's all these demons kind of at war with each other, and yeah, just the kind of fiery red hues that he used with that kind of meaty color too. Like it just looks very yeah, it just looks very hellish. So I think he was the perfect guy for the job. I actually gave him different references from everything from classic death metal album covers that had a hellish vibe to it, to like Renaissance paintings and paintings by like Hieronymus Bosch, for example. So I think he really knocked it out of the park as far as the imagery goes. The lyrics definitely fit into that hell theme. Diabolical Majesty, for example, is about the clash between the Satanic Temple and a lot of religious right politicians for the battle to put up the statue of the Baphomet on government property. There's also songs that are about the occult, like Lessons in Occult Theft, for example, and even a song about the rapture, but sort of an inverted version of that on the song God Forsaken. So across the board, the lyrics definitely fit with that infernal theme of Nether Heaven. Touring with Whitechapel and Cannibal Corpse was absolutely fantastic. It was our first tour coming out of the pandemic, so the shows were all sold out, the places were packed, and there was just so much energy coming from the crowd. It was great to hit the stage again and really feel that love from the audience. There was circle pits and people moshing, and it just seemed like everyone was there to have a good time and to celebrate death metal. So the craziest thing that ever happened to me on tour, this was years ago. I was out with Darkest Hour and Periphery. I stage dove in Cleveland, and I kind of overshot the crowd. I jumped backwards, and the crowd caught my legs, but they didn't catch my back or my torso area, so I just went straight down, hit the back of my head on the hard concrete, and ended up splitting my head open. So I had to go to the emergency room and get 8 staples in the back of my head. It was definitely a gory scene, but I made it to the next show. We were in the middle of a tour, so unfortunately I didn't have the luxury of resting. I just kind of had to power through. And yeah, I was on stage the next night with 8 staples in the back of my head, just probably doing dumb shit all over again. Working with Metal Blade Records is great. Obviously, Brian Slagle's a total visionary. He's been in the scene for a very long time. He's signed some great bands over the years, so we're definitely honored to be a part of the Metal Blade roster and family. What I like about Metal Blade is they allow us to do what we want to do. They don't try to micromanage us too much. They have faith in the band. And obviously, from a label standpoint, I mean, they've got like a worldwide reach, so it's awesome to work with the label and know that, you know, when you put out a record, they're going to be behind you 100% and really push that record out to the masses. So it's always a pleasure getting to work with them on a new album. Now Satan's voices spread like noise. Favorite Revocation record? Well, I'm going to have to go with the new one, Nether Heaven, just because it's so fresh. Obviously, it's hard to choose a favorite when you're so close to it, but I really feel like the material on the new album it's just a great representation of where the band is at right now. I think we're more focused than ever. I think the band sounds better than ever, and I think the songs are all really dialed in on this newest record. It's like they each have their own personality, but they all really fit into that concept of the hell theme, whether it's the lyrics or the vocals or the music or the artwork. Just everything kind of comes together, and it just feels like a total package. So I'm going to have to go with the new record. So I think the pandemic definitely, you know, hit us hard, just like it hit everybody hard. I tried to focus just on music-related projects, so I learned how to record both with audio and video. I tried to work on different projects, so I launched my website, davedavidsonguitar.com. That was something I was meaning to do for a while. I also was involved with different studio projects. I worked with the Slay at Home folks and did a couple covers, and also released an original song with this group that came together called Palette Veil. And I was also part of a 2 Minutes to Late Night cover as well. So I try to just stay focused on music, try to do cool collaborative projects with different entities. And yeah, I was thankful when we could finally go back out on tour, though, because we've definitely been missing it. So we've all had different levels of schooling in Revocation in terms of, you know, our musical knowledge. I got my degree from Berkeley. I also went to an arts high school, so I was studying jazz, playing in the big band, you know, in my teen years. So that helped my understanding of music early on. And then certainly when I went to Berkeley and got my degree from there, I mean, I studied with so many great professors and took so many cool classes. So that really opened up my eyes to the whole wide world of music theory and different genres and the vocabulary that comes with different genres. So yeah, I definitely feel like it made me a better musician. I learned a ton, especially in my private lessons studying with a lot of these great jazz guitar players, because they have such a unique way of viewing the instrument and music in general. So I think that's definitely, you know, whether it was conscious or unconscious, affected my way of playing, certainly in my soloing. So we filmed the music video for Diabolical Majesty at a church-turned-skate park out in St. Louis. I flew down to Richmond, Virginia, met up with my bass player. We loaded up all the gear, and we just did like a straight 13-hour drive out to St. Louis, and we filmed actually 3 music videos there. So Diabolical was the first one, but it was such a big location that we were able to get a couple other looks out of it, which was always nice, because oftentimes you're working with time constraints and on a budget. I mean, we were only there for a day and a half and managed to get 3 music videos done. It was great to be there. Like the skaters that showed up just really threw down. For just doing awesome tricks in the background. The whole environment was really cool, and it was great to get back to filming videos with the My Good Eye production team, Dave and Allie. They're good friends of ours. They've filmed all of our music videos so far, except for one. And yeah, I think the video came out great. I was really amazed by the quality of the shots and just the energy in the video. So definitely make sure you check out that video if you haven't seen it. And yeah, shout out to Skate Laborious, the skate park in St. Louis, for having us. So my advice to any bands that are starting out for the first time, you know, try to find your own voice. There's so many different bands out there and so many cool influences. Like, try to find what makes you passionate about music and incorporate that into your own writing. You know, try not to be a carbon copy clone of other bands. I mean, trends sort of come and go, but if you stay true to yourself, that's the most important thing at the end of the day. So definitely, you know, hone your craft, practice, try to get in the room with other like-minded musicians, and hopefully something cool will come out. Of course, you want to make sure that whatever you're putting out there is at a certain level of quality, or at least has the right aesthetic for what you're going for. So, you know, if you're trying to be in more of like an old school death metal band, try to find a producer that has that old school sound. If you're going for something more modern and polished, try to work with producers that have that more modern, polished sound. And also for artwork too, think about like what aesthetic you want to put out there in terms of you know, the visuals for your band. So, you know, find cool artists that you think are really match the same style that your band is going for and collaborate with them. I think having that full package, especially when you're coming out and making a first impression to new fans, is super critical and important. Thanks again to Over Music for having me. Make sure you check out our new record, Nether Heaven, coming September 9th.